Good morning, Hannah. In response to your questions, this is Mark Weiner, Director of Victim Services for Licking County. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your project here. The first question is, do you agree with the definition of rape culture? And I don't really agree with the definition of rape culture because I think that rape culture doesn't support violence against women. I think that there are both men and women that are both sexually assaulted, so therefore that sexual culture doesn't just cover women, it also covers males as well. So we don't really agree with the definition because there's also child victims that are male and female that also we see coming through the criminal justice system. The second question is, in your experience as a victim advocate, when you think of rape, do you think of only women being raped? And when I think of rape, I think of all of our crime victims that are coming through, both males and females, as well as the very small children that are coming through, the little girls, the little boys. We don't just have females coming through that are making accusations of sexual assault or rape, because we also have males and females that are being raped, unfortunately. Do you think most of the people you work with also think of the same thing? And I don't really think so, because I think in the law enforcement community, law enforcement officers and police and deputy sheriffs, I think they understand that both males and females are subject to sexual assaults and have also worked with both males and females during the during reports and so forth of sexual assault. So I think that there are males and females that are being assaulted, and I don't think the folks in law enforcement really think of just women being raped, so to speak. How does your community view rape and the rape culture? I think that the local community, I think people are very supportive of rape victims. I think they are wanting to do whatever they can for sexual assault survivors and help them in any way possible. I think it's important to rally around that crime victim, to get folks in the community to support that family or that sexual assault victim as they go through the whole process, and not allow that victim to think that she's going to remain a victim or he's going to remain a victim forever, and really help them go from being a victim to being a survivor throughout the process here. How has this affected you when you do your job? I think it's very important that we do whatever we can to support our sexual assault victims and our rape victims, whether that's writing our legislature, letting them know how important it is to continue that funding for rape crisis centers around the state, or battered women's shelters that also assist a lot of our sexual assault victims. So it's made us a lot more proactive in our jobs to make sure we do whatever we can to offer crisis intervention and court accompaniment and resources and support to all of our sexual assault victims coming through. Have you ever dealt with a case in which a male was raped? And the answer to that is yes. On numerous occasions we've had men who have reported that they've been sexually assaulted, both in their relationship with a spouse or a partner, as well as other situations where they've been attacked either at work or maybe at a party. We've had men come in and report sexual assaults in different situations. Do you think that the rape culture is prevalent in our law enforcement today? And again, I don't think so. I think that law enforcement take sexual assaults and rape extremely serious. They know it's a very difficult crime or victimization for that victim, so they do everything they can in getting as much training and as much knowledge as they possibly can, so when they go in to work with that crime victim, they're able to make sure they offer dignity and respect and be able to investigate that crime just like they would a homicide or any other type of crime, burglary, homicide case. A lot of our law enforcement officers, when they're working with sexual assault survivors or victims of sexual assault, a lot of those detectives and police officers have specialized training in that area to handle those type of cases, which shows that law enforcement today really takes a very strong approach when investigating and dealing with those type of crimes, because in our particular community we have a child advocacy center where all those children that are sexually assaulted can have a one-stop medical facility where they meet with a a victim advocate, a social worker, a detective, a police officer, medical personnel that can only ask the child questions just one time, just do one interview of that child, as opposed to having that child go to several different agencies and being interviewed several times. So with the Child Advocacy Center, it's a one-stop medical facility where children can go and receive all the services at one place, as opposed to going to the police department or the sheriff's office or children's services in the hospital and the doctor's office and the pediatrician. So I think our community has taken a strong stance to help protect those children and do whatever they can to support them. So thanks, Hannah. Best wishes with your project.